What is up, you guys? It is Alchemy, and today I cannot believe that I am making this video. That is actually something that I need to talk about. I mean, we've been speculating for so long to see if it's actually going to happen, and here, long and behold, it's actually happening. Let's talk about it. Anyway, guys, welcome to this video where we're going to talk about Spider-Man 2 for the PS5 coming out in 2023. Yes, that's a long time, but you know what? I'll deal with it. Take your time, Insomniac. You literally just dropped Ratchet and Clank, and then you have a lot to do, so take your time. Anyway, guys, last night was the PlayStation Showcase event where they talked about a lot of different things. I'll be doing a separate video on that, which should be up soon, or if it isn't already, where I talk about basically the things that I took away from the showcase and things I have opinions on and stuff like that. But during that showcase, they showed a lot, a lot of good things, a lot of great games that I'm very interested in, that I'm very looking forward to. But in the back of our minds, we all know that we were wanting either God of War, which we know was a Telltale, that was definitely happening, or Spider-Man 2. Anyway, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 showed up in the showcase near the end, right before God of War, so it was literally back-to-back amazingness. So I was literally blown away. And then just before that, Insomniac already announced that they were working on a Wolverine game, which I still can't believe. It's still not wrapping around my head. Like, it's insane to think about, but yes, they are doing a Wolverine game. I am going to be talking about that in my PlayStation Showcase review, just because there wasn't really too much to show about Wolverine, so I'm just going to talk about that amongst the other games that were shown at the showcase. Anyway, let's get into Marvel Spider-Man 2. So, great news off the bat. Brian Interhaar is back as the creative director, so I was worried about that. I know, like, it's a trend of, like, switching directors for games once, the sequel comes out. It's a 50-50 chance that happens, so to see that he's actually still the creative director, which is really good. Ryan Smith is still also on the team, which is really good. Both of those guys did an amazing job, so I just love to see them, actually work it out, work it out and actually, put the story together. James Ham is actually back working on the game. I'm pretty sure he's going to be doing the animations for the game, which, yes, just yes, because Miles Morales, the traversal, the animations, just everything in between, that was just amazing. It's just great. And I know he wasn't the only one on the animation team, but like it was great. And he's my hero. Anyway, Peter and Miles return as Yuri Lowenthal and Najee Jeter all reprise their roles as their respective characters, and I knew that was definitely going to happen. Najee was talking about it on his Twitter, on his Instagram. He was like putting like little cryptic messages out there where we was like, okay, he's back to work as Miles, and we were like, maybe DLC, and then everyone was like, no, this could potentially be, the sequel. But Yuri Lowenthal is back as well, which, is that really saying anything? We knew he was going to be back. There's no way that he wouldn't be back. Honestly, one of my favorite interpretations and voice actors in current times. I don't think like I like Josh Keaton. I know a lot of people do like Neil Patrick Harris when he was Spider-Man, but I honestly love Yuri. He's really great, and I feel like he gets what Spider-Man is. Venom is the villain, being played by Tony Todd, which is, if you never seen the original Candyman, you'll see him and then you'll be like, yeah, he's a great fit for Venom. That's kind of creepy. But he's gonna play the role of Venom, which I think is an absolutely great idea. I would love to see what he brings to the table for Venom, and actually just seeing Venom this early. I mean, we kind of knew that Venom was going to be in the story. It's been teased throughout multiple instances throughout the game, so I knew it was definitely going to happen. But to see it happen in the first teaser trailer, that caught me by surprise. But yeah, it's cool to see that Venom's going to be in there. I would love to see certain things done with his character, or considering that it is Harry being Venom, I would love to see what dynamic that's going to cause for him and Peter. Throughout the trailer, you can hear Kraven the Hunter talking. don't see him, but he's talking about, you know, he had disappointment, he's been looking for something, and, you know, Kraven's always looking for the finest hunt. So I think that's something that he's gonna go to Venom about, and Venom's gonna basically hunt down both Peter and Miles. So that's kind of interesting to see. But I don't want Kraven to be the main villain, if that makes sense. I feel like you've been building up Venom so much, is that, you know, Venom should be the main villain. You know, Kraven should be the side villain, adversary to Venom, almost like, you know, a side piece. That sounded wrong, I'm sorry. But it's really cool to see Kraven, hear Kraven in this trailer. I would like to see more on his character. They didn't say who voiced him, but whoever voiced him is doing a great freaking job, so there's that. Throughout the trailer, you can see that Peter has like new mechanical arms, which sort of looks like a mix between the Iron Spider suit and Doc Ock. If you look at like the tips of the arms, it kind of looks like how Doc Ock had it in the game, previous game, the first game. But I'm not too sure about that. They really haven't explained anything about those arms. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a bunch of interviews coming out soon talking about the game, or maybe not just yet. They'll probably wait until like E3 to really deep dive into like the questions and everything. But it looks very different. So I don't know what that's about. I mean, I'm kind of liking it, but not liking it. So we'll see how that goes, or why he has those arms now. But we'll see until later on. Peter and Miles seem to have a dual takedown system. This is just me speculating. This is not confirmed. This is me speculating based off the trailer, where Miles and Peter basically take down this one enemy together, almost like a tag team situation. As you know, I've played Ratchet and Clank, so Insomniac has a plan for as far as like two characters being played at the same time. They did wonderful with Ratchet and Rivet, you know, during the duology of those characters, playing them at the same time, playing them in different missions. So I'm assuming that they're going to only expand that in Marvel Spider-Man 2 and basically have a takedown system, which is what I'm really interested in to see, because that would be freaking amazing. I was playing Arkham Knight not too long ago, and one thing that I liked about it, when you were play Catwoman and Batman at the same time, but you will do a takedown, but it was almost like you were tag teaming with Batman, and I love that. So maybe that's like the same thing that's incorporated with this game, but this is only just a teaser trailer, so we don't really know. Not only to mention that this isn't a CGI trailer, that is PS5 in real time, which is amazing to see, because at first I thought it was CGI, then I had to look at it again. I was just like, no, that's the PS5 in real time, and they did say that this is the PS5 in real time, so I'm like, wait a second, that's not CGI, that's great. But I'm pretty sure that is a duo takedown system. If not, it's probably just like a cool little you know, animation that they have together, which I would kind of be disappointed in, but you know, I can understand it. Peter's advanced suit has minimal changes around the lower waist area. You can see like around the belt area, there's a little like notches that's a little bit like added there, and then the actual red pattern that was on his legs before are gone to look more blue, which I don't know if I really like that yet. I mean, I kind of like the advanced suit from just the way that it is, but to change it actually into this, you know, there's got to be like something like different with that. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It just looks a little bit weird. Something to get used to, just like how we all got used to the new face, and people are still complaining about it. Grow up. Alright, so now on to my top 5 once and top 5 not once. Let's start with the top 5 once. First want is expanded map. I don't want to just go through the same New York map, Manhattan. I don't want to go through just New York City. I want to go to, you know, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, like stuff like that. Open the map up so we're not feeling like we're doing the same thing over again, the same map over and over again. I want to see more stuff going up, and based off, you know, the more power that you have with the PS5, you can probably build a bigger map with no issues whatsoever. And I believe in Insomniac to do something like that, to build a bigger map. So I think that would be cool. Second one is more tricks. Now, with this goes without saying, I'm pretty sure they're gonna add more tricks. You know, if you see the evolution from, you know, the first Spider-Man to Miles Morales, like that was a drastic change because tricks were added late in the first Spider-Man, late in development, and then with Miles Morales they went in, you know, firsthand like, hey, we're gonna do a lot of tricks, this is what we're gonna do, blah 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 blah. And honestly, like I play Miles more than I play, you know, the original Spider-Man, just because of the trick system and how you can, you know, iterate them with the Venom powers along with that. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I would love to see more things. Give Peter more tricks too. You know, let him learn some tricks from Miles, or, you know, Miles to learn tricks from Peter, which he kind of already did in Miles Morales, but maybe even more tricks. You know, I would love to see stuff like that. Third, want Miles. I also want him to experience the symbiote. Not for a long time, not for the whole story, but also just get a little taste of it, because I think we never seen Miles experience Venom or the symbiote, and, you know, in the media like this. So I would definitely love to see that and how it would affect his him and Peter's relationship, his mother, you know, him and Genki. You know, like I really would love to see how that would play out, but you know, one can hope. Who knows? All right, fourth top 5 want is seamless switching between the two Spider-Men. Something similar to like how GTA 5 does, you know, how you switch between Franklin, Trevor, and Michael. I would like to see something like that with him and Peter, you know, because we're working on a faster console, you know, seamless switching just like that in an instant. I would love to see something like that happen. Maybe Miles is swinging on one half of the map and Peter swinging on the other half of the map. Something that I would like to see just like that. I would like to, you know, and not have to wait for the next mission. You know, you just switch right over back to Miles, switch over to Peter, or something like that. I would love to see something like that happen, but maybe, I don't know. We might not get something like that. One can hope. All right. Fifth and final top 5 want. Go into buildings like the original Spider-Man 2. Something that I've been dying to have since Spider-Man 1 was to go into any building, literally any building, just like it did in the original Spider-Man 2 game. I love that. I love that you can just literally go into like a random store and it'll be like thugs just pop out and just be like, oh, get him, Spider-Man, and like you'll beat him up. Like, I love that. I used to love that. Or you would just find like weird like little things that the developers would put in, like weird little things. I remember this one shop in Spider-Man 2. You would go to this shop and it was like in Chinatown, and then you would go to this picture and it had this guy just like smiling, and that's all that it was. It was like this weird little smiling thing, but no one would find that unless you literally just went into every store and be like, what the heck is this? But it was so cool to see. Also, you can also refill your health in those stores. It was something that was, I literally, it blew my like 8-year-old mind. So it was so good to see, but I definitely would like to see this in Spider-Man 2. I know you guys can do it. I know that we have technology capable to do this. I know a lot of developers are lazy. Like I said, GTA 5 should have been had that. You should have been able to go in any store. Literally, I mean, for the time that it came out, maybe a little bit, you know, you couldn't do that. But like once it got into like PS4, Xbox One, you should have like start to play around with that. But definitely, if Insomniac's the first person to do this, like in a modern setting, bro, it would be amazing. So, you know, Insomniac, beat Rockstar at their game, because you're already beating them at a lot of stuff. You guys are amazing. All right, now to the top 5 not once, which is a fake out villain. We both heard Kraven and Venom. Now, I don't want one of them to be a fake out villain and none of them like are the main villain. Like, I just want a villain, you know what I mean? Like how they did with Mr. Negative, and Mr. Negative was marketed as the main villain, but then long and behold that Doc Ock was the main villain. I kind of don't want that for this story. You know, we you know, it was cool for the first game, but I don't want that to be a trope throughout the Spider-Man game. So I want you to actually just be confident in your villain, and that's the villain that you're sticking with, and that's the story that you're sticking with. You know, that's something that I'm looking forward to. I do not want a fake out villain. Just give me the main villain. Thank you, please. Next, not want, which is basically, I don't want Green Goblin. Not yet. I feel like this is basically Venom or Kraven's story. This is not, I do not want Green Goblin just yet. I feel like, you know, if you guys are going to do Green Goblin, you're obviously going to have to do Norman, and I feel like the setting that he's at, maybe, no, not just yet. Maybe how I like to see if, you know, Harry does die in this game by accident, because, you know, Spider-Man doesn't kill. If he does die by accident, I would like to see, you know, Norman, blames Spider-Man for that, and then in turn, Norman turns into Green Goblin, goes after Spider-Man, tries to kill him for it. I think that would be a great story for Spider-Man 3 and or a spin-off or whatever like that. I think that would be something cool to see. So just save Green Goblin for the next installment. I think that's something that you just have to play by safe, and I know what you guys are doing. I trust you guys. In Insomniac we trust, so you're not gonna do that, right? Right. All right. Third, not one, which is boring side missions. I will say for both Spider-Man games, I will say the side missions were both lackluster. I will say Miles Morales got a little bit better to make it more. It felt more personal. Like you knew the people in your town and your neighborhood. So I felt like that was made a little bit better instead of like just random things happening. I did like the Taskmaster, missions in the original Spider-Man, but honestly, side missions altogether, which is kind of lackluster to me. That's just my personal opinion. You may have loved them, that's great, but I just never really liked them that much. So I want a little bit more interesting side missions to the game. And you would think that if I have an opinion on it, you think I can give a suggestion. No, I cannot. I do not know. Sorry. All right, fourth, not one, which is no flashbacks on Harry, which means that I actually want flashbacks. You get what I mean? I had to make it sound like I was like actually saying I don't want that, but then I wanted that, because if I said that I wanted that, then it should have been in the want category, but then I actually don't want it. You get what I'm saying? Yes, no, okay. Basically, I want flashbacks on Harry. I don't want to just leave it at that and like, oh, he's Venom now, that's it. But I want to see like what, him and Peter's relationship was like, their friendship, them as kids or them as teenagers, then in college, stuff like that. I wanted to see stuff like that to build on the emotion of him, Peter having to stop Venom, basically stop Harry. So I would love to see flashbacks in the story, feeding on that. Don't just skip over that. Don't just say, hey, yeah, it's just Harry and he's a villain, blah, blah, blah. Or save it for a next installment, like I actually want it in this story. Last, not one, it's a lighthearted story. Now you can tell by the trailer, like it's a little bit more darker, sinister. I wouldn't say it's like a gritty story, but it has a different tone. So I won't say that both stories were lighthearted, because they weren't. There were like really elements of the story that were really sad or scary, not scary, but like really gruesome. Concerning like things that happened, like Aunt May's death, stuff like that. It was still kind of lighthearted. It was a lighthearted, not so dark Spider-Man story, if that makes sense. So I would like to see this take a shift in tone, especially because Venom is in it. There's a lot of dark elements that you can fit into there, so I would love to see this be a different tone, a different direction as far as storytelling. So maybe. But anyway, guys, this is just me spitballing off of a lot of things. I'm going to be making a lot of videos on Spider-Man 2. We're going to get news, I believe, like next year, because we're not getting any more news this year. We're going to get more news maybe at E3 or even before that, or maybe even after that. We got a whole year to talk about this stuff. It doesn't come out till 2023, so we got all of 2022 to talk about it. If we survive before 2023 or 22 swallows us whole, God bless our souls. But anyway, I'm still excited. It's still amazing to see that Insomniac is still killing it, still getting it. So yeah. Anyway, guys, what do you guys think about Spider-Man 2? What are your 5 wants or 5 not wants? Let me know in the comments below, because I always like to hear you guys' opinions, because I shout out at you for like 5 hours, depending on how much you watch my videos. Obviously, that was over-exaggeration. Anyway, guys, see you guys next time. Peace. Hey guys, if you like this video, why don't you leave a like? And make sure you subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you guys know when I always upload.